to empower survivors of domestic violence to lead lives of dignity and self-sufficiency, and engage the community in establishing healthy relationships and gender equity. My team and I today have come as youth representatives to help Maitri's mission and reach the hearts and lives of the youth community. No one wants to admit they are victims of abuse in a society that upholds the perfection of teenage relationships. No one wants to have to mask their emotions based on society's stigmas. The taboo around these topics, gender inequality, relationship abuse, and toxic masculinity, are their biggest detriments. And it's our responsibility to break those taboos and bring the discussion to the forefront. We need to end victim blaming and make the abusers accountable. "I'm sorry, but I really love you," she said, and Jacob believed her. Young and perhaps in love, he proposed straight out of college. What is love? A question a lot of young teens struggle with. Is it your girlfriend getting drunk and repeatedly hitting you? Is it promising yourself this is the last broken bone you get from your spouse? Is it feeling like no one understands the emotional trauma, so you hide away and let the conditions worsen? But one of Jacob's friends, just one person at work, one neighbor, is all it would have taken to save Jacob from abuse. That's what awareness prevents. It prevents a potential for young boys to engage in violent behavior due to suffocating emotional oppression. It reduces the 80% of women that still believe their voices mean less than males at school or in the workforce. It encourages 33% of teens who are in a violent relationship and never told anyone about it to become noticed. We are aware there's little we can do to reverse the trauma on those already affected, but that doesn't mean we can't make change. Now, working alongside Maitri, this convention is purposed to educate teenagers about how we as a community may alleviate that pain. It is our responsibility to detect the signs of gender inequality, toxic masculinity, and unhealthy relationships, and gain the courage to talk about it. Spreading knowledge is the key to preventing future violent incidents. Have an open dialogue, and don't be a bystander. Maybe then, one less boy or girl will feel so alone. With that, I hope you enjoy the rest of the program today. Thank you. Now we're going to welcome a speaker on behalf of Maitri.
Hey everybody. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Hey guys, good afternoon. Thanks for making time on a Sunday to be here. Welcome to the Maitri Teen Convention. My name is Alap. I'm a volunteer at Maitri. So Maitri is a free, confidential, local nonprofit that empowers South Asian survivors of domestic violence. Our whole mission is to help survivors lead lives of dignity and self-sufficiency through holistic programs, and enable healthy relationships and gender equity through community education, engagement, and advocacy. As part of Maitri's prevention efforts, we're hosting this convention here today with a group of passionate teenagers to address correlation between gender inequality and gender abuse, and to promote healthy relationships. This kind of community forum gives us an opportunity to start a dialogue with young people. So we're happy to bring together both adult and youth members onto the same platform, so that together we can recognize inequalities and injustices in relationships and work together to do something about that and bring about change. This is a great platform where adults and teens can all come together to learn from each other, and I think that's part of the experience that everyone should be having. Both adults learn from teens and teens learn from adults. Those of you who are here today, I hope you'll do your part in preventing violence and abuse. Especially men and boys, please do get involved in our social media campaign, which is called Engaging Men and Boys. It's basically a platform where we as men and as boys, we express our thoughts around gender violence and toxic masculinity and anything we see and hear in our community, so that we can share with people, and we post that on our social media. So if you're interested in that, feel free to reach out to me or Nandini or anybody else from Maitri. Let us know if you're interested. Ending gender-based violence or partner violence is not just a woman's issue, and I think that's important, very important for us to highlight. It's a community issue, and we have a collective responsibility in in creating a society where everyone can live with dignity and respect. All of you, please support, volunteer, and donate to Maitri. We're a very open community. Any questions you have about the issue or about what we do, feel free to reach out to me or anybody else here. You can also stay in touch through Maitri, with Maitri through all of our social media platforms. So we have Facebook. Nandini can give you more information on all of our wonderful outreach programs here. We also just recently launched a radio show called Between Friends, Conversation with Maitri. And you can find that either on SoundCloud and through your podcasts on your phone, your podcast apps. We're very proud of that, and Nandini has put in a lot of work to make that a success as well. Together, we can eliminate gender-based violence and domestic violence from our community, and I really, really want to thank all of you for being here today. Thank you.
Our first student panelist speakers are from Washington High School. These ladies are seniors and co-founders of RISE, Perspective of Respect, Inspire, Support, and Empower. They strive to educate teenagers and adults about domestic violence while helping the victims find financial stability. Please welcome Rishika, Srishti, and Shreya.
Sorry guys, so we have a couple of photographers and videographers here. If anybody has any objections to being photographed or videographed, just please let our photographers know. Thanks.
Hi everyone, I'm Srishti.
I'm Shreya. And I'm Rishika.
And we're the founders of RISE. RISE is a community service organization that we founded in our sophomore year of high school. It is based on the means of raising awareness for domestic violence, as well as educating teenagers, adults, and helping provide financial stability to abuse victims or people who have just gone into an abusive relationship. Since its inception, RISE has raised and donated $1,200 to domestic violence housing shelters all throughout the Bay Area, and these funds were raised through fundraisers at restaurants such as IT and Chipotle, as well as we held a charity show in February of last year, in which we invited Bollywood dancers from all throughout the Bay Area to come and dance at our show, and through that we raised $800. Today we're here to speak to you about the topic of gender inequality, and let's just get started on that. So every child deserves to reach his or her Every child deserves to reach his or her full potential, but gender inequalities in their lives and in the lives of those who care for them hinder this reality. Girls and boys see gender inequality in their homes and communities every day, in textbooks, in the media, and among the men and women who provide care and support for these children.
Unequal responsibility for work and home socializes children into thinking that these duties are women's only role, thereby curtailing generational change and narrowing girls' ambition. One of the effects of gender inequality is present in the workforce. Women tend to get frustrated because of the unequal pay they are receiving. This is unfair and needs to be put to a stop. There is no reason for women to be paid less. Time out of the workforce can directly impact women's earning potential. Often, mothers returning to the workforce experience a motherhood penalty. Employers are less likely to hire moms. If mothers are hired, they tend to be paid less than childless women, a pay cut worth more than their time outside the workforce. Fathers are not punished compared to other men. It's important to note that women's choices regarding work are not made in a vacuum. Factors that impact women's decisions include workplace discrimination, either experienced or anticipated, a lack of women-friendly policies and resources in the workplace, persistent stereotypes that steer women and men towards different education, training, and career paths, different societal expectations for wives compared to husbands, and mothers compared to fathers, and different forms of sexism, both subtle and blatant. Another form of gender inequality is domestic abuse. There are many women who are scared to go outside and speak their mind in public areas. They're scared of being hurt because of the power men think they have. Many men think they can please and hurt women just because of the difference in opinion. There are several cases where gender violence occurred due to power dynamics in intimate partner relationships, and that is deeply rooted in gender inequality. One such case was in 2011, where Maria Escamilla was killed by Jose Arellano in Idaho, and they were both unmarried. They had a difference in opinion, and he ended up killing her. He used his force on her and was put in jail for the rest of his life. Another case is Aroha. She was beaten and left to die in a Hamilton garage at the hands of a partner who found text messages on her phone that he didn't like. As tragic and heartbreaking as these cases are, they are not isolated. As a teen, it should be our responsibility to bring the change for good. All of us should help in building a society where there will be no gender discrimination and gender inequality. People from all genders should feel safe and respected. We urge you to recognize your own biases and think how you can contribute in bringing a positive change to each one of your communities. Thank you.
Now we will have a short informative skit about partner violence from Kalia and Noel.